Superb. All right. So, hi, a quick introduction once again for Gomati and everybody else who's logged in here for the first time. This pretty girl out there is Sowmiya Bhas. She's the founder and CEO, or so we can call it, of the W Therapies. And she's a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist and a past life regression therapist. She's also a communicator. She's learned shamanism. So there's a great deal of certifications and skills that she has to her benefit. I'm Hema Subramanian, and I also work as a psychotherapist, a hypnotherapist now, a past life regression therapist, and I've also worked a great deal as a corporate trainer. So this series of Emoti-kaun is aimed towards um, spreading awareness about emotions, about how we can understand emotions and how we can live life to our best by understanding them, or rather by befriending them. So both Soumya and I had this quirk about why don't we pick up the Mahabharat and try to understand the various emotions that every character felt, during the entire course of the epic. So last week we started off with talking about love. And we said love has a lot of different varieties, a lot of different shades, depending on who it comes from. So today we're going to take a step forward, and we're going to talk about something called as the love language, which is primarily about expressing love. So Soumya, I just share your experience about what do you think are the various ways of communicating about love before we go on to the theoretical part of it.
I think we should throw it open to our participants. Like, what do they understand, or when do they feel that they are expressing love? So, when do you feel you're expressing love? If you can, if you want to chat, or if you want to just unmute yourself and talk, or when do you feel that someone is
It's about the care. Maybe we take care of, or we think first about an next person, or take care about his feelings, or dislike, likes, etc.
Yes. So the word that you use was take care. Like I can say probably through actions. Is that what you mean? One
Yeah,
of the ways?
definitely.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Great. So that's one of the ways in which you can express love. That's through actions. Uh, Through one of the ways that I know I express love is by words of appreciation. That's the way I feel I do that. You can have more than one way of expressing love. So you can, for me, it is also through, like how you shared, Tushar, through action. So, like that's a service that you do. Like you said, take care. So simple things like maybe it's like serving food or taking care of the bills. That's one way of expressing too. So getting more deeper into it. Does anyone else want to comment? Share how do you express love? What is your way of showing you love somebody?
And
I think I was going to say words as well because uh, a large part of me believes in writing and expressing. So definitely words is one form of acknowledgement and expression. But the word expression itself also gives us a cue, the non-verbal cue. Sometimes even when words don't speak, our gestures speak. So I think even the non-verbal cues of expressing one's own love, gratitude works. And of course, innumerable ways of actions, like how you said, take owning responsibility for others, taking care of others, accepting the way how they are instead of questioning, and just being there for others. I think these are all different ways of expressing love. And I just wanted to add another point. When you said four types of love are there, I actually have come across. So you said love for individual, love for others, love for nature, and love for God is this. I think these are the four explanations.
Love for a cause bigger than you, and love for God. Like that's the way we differentiated it for ease of understanding.
Uh, that's really beautiful because I have heard some spiritual talks where they have actually classified it in a similar way. They call it Vyashti, Samashti, Srishti, Paramishti. Vyashti meaning individual, Samashti meaning the society around you, and Srishti meaning the nature, and Paramishti meaning the spirituality, divinity, God. So that was beautiful to note your high thinking and high connectivity. I'm amazed by that.
Thank you, Gomati. And with that example, I think Sharda also has shared something in the chat uh, that love for her is taking care of the person, trying to fulfill their wishes, cooking, giving them a meaningful gift. Yes. So, yes, these are also ways of expressing. And let's get to know a little bit more in detail through Hema.
Right. So I think that was beautiful. I mean, what Gomati said, it's also reassuring for us that we are also thinking in the right direction, you know. So that's kind of nice to know that a lot of other people, we think like a lot of other people think a lot like us. I think it's just that beautiful. So this concept of the love language was created by a pastor called Gary Chapman. Okay. And while I'm going to talk, I'm also going to try to share my document that that we spoke about. So while we talk about the love language, so Gary Chapman had the concept of the love language, and he says that there are 5 different ways of expressing love. Okay. So the first one is called as words of affirmation. So like you rightly said, spoken words, praise, compliments, or appreciation, kind words and encouragement, quotes, love notes, and cute text messages. So I think everybody wants appreciation and acknowledgement and compliments at some given point in time. Of course, it depends on whom it is coming from and at what juncture it is coming from. So to a great extent, we all like it. So in the Mahabharat as well, we were talking about, even the last time we were talking about self-love, right? And the example that came to our minds was Kans. And Kans, people like Kans or people like Duryodhan or people like Shakuni, they were very fond of praise. They were very fond of compliments, of being glorified, of being, acknowledged, their presence and their power being acknowledged. So all through the B.R. Chopra Mahabharat, you will find these other people, soldiers or messengers saying, hey Maharathi, hey Arjun, hey Krishna, So that hey was like, to be able to put them at a pedestal and express adoration or express respect for the position, for the prowess, for their skills, and for their virtues, right? So, although the examples that I'm giving you look like they are negative characters, it's not only like that. It depends on how the receiver's state of mind is, right? So if my self identity or my self confidence, self esteem rather, is not in place, then all of these spoken words, praise, and compliments make me more high headed. Yeah. But if I know I'm content and I know who I am, my self esteem, my self confidence is in place, then all these compliments add to my persona. They uh, make me feel good, not more, not less. You know what I mean? So to a great extent, we each one of us needs these compliments time and again from certain people to make us feel that, okay, yeah, I did a good job and somebody noticed that as well. Yeah. And I love it when this happens with parenting. I think parents, the kind of affirmations or reassurance that the parent can give a child, nothing beats that. So, Soumya, examples from you. Tushar is also a parent. Seema Chechi is there. So, if either of you, any one of you wants to share an example, it'll be great. Any example of
Does anyone want to share? Okay, so just simply like what Hema said in terms of appreciation, um, acknowledging maybe how they have just kept their plate back into the kitchen, simple thing. And for them, for at least my little one, it comes across as like, yes, one mission accomplished. And it's like, that's about it.
Yeah.
And it just boosts a little bit idea of doing it again, recreating it another time. So just a simple thing as that, seeing something and acknowledging it. And that comes across as encouragement to continue doing that.
Correct. Absolutely. So I think that's a very cute thing that I see so many parents doing, So I know that when a child accomplishes something, he also looks toward the parent to see that, okay, did somebody notice that I did something amazing, I built something amazing, did something right, or I managed to fix a problem by myself. So I think it's very cute when somebody else acknowledges the child's effort. And we as grown-ups also wish that from others, especially at work, right? So when you have slogged a lot, and if somebody notices it, then it just feels worth it sometimes. So that's one thing. This is for all working people. That's how it works. So the words of affirmation, being nice, being kind, complimenting them on something. Remember that these compliments have to be genuine. ऐसा नहीं है कि somebody has told you, किसी ने तो बोला है ये करना है तो करना है. Everybody, each one of us knows what is genuine and what is not. So the second aspect that Gary Chapman talks about is spending quality time. Some people love spending quality time with somebody else. Okay. What do you mean by quality time? It's not the number of hours that is spent. It is being present in that moment completely. With your undivided attention and having a meaningful interaction. Yeah. So it's not that you spend like 14 hours together and yet you don't feel that you've spent that much time together. Even if you spend half an hour, if you are completely there without distractions, putting down the cell phone, turning off the computer, not allowing too many distractions, that half an hour is more meaningful than 4 or 5 hours spent together while being completely distracted. So what does it mean? Means maintaining eye contact, interacting thoughtfully, and actively listening, being interested in what the other person's saying. Yeah. Most of us have hectic lives, right? For all of us who are working, sometimes our work hours are pretty unforgiving. We end up working 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Yeah. But still, coming back to spending time with anybody for like half an hour, including yourself for that matter. No, we kept talking about self-love. So including spending time with yourself or spending time with somebody else for that half an hour is more than enough. Okay, so some people they may not want too much in terms of compliments, but they may want your presence to be there. So most Indian households, dinner time or lunch time or the weekend lunch and dinners, that is the space where gets counted as quality time. Yeah. Any other examples that you guys want to share about how you guys spend quality time with people that you care about?
Yeah, Hema. Hi.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, I've got teenage daughters, grown up almost.
Okay.
So for us, it's a weekend out together, or
Right.
maybe watching a movie together,
Right.
or when I like you said, when I put down the phone to listen to something that they have to say, they're in
Yeah.
college now. So, college drama, teen drama.
Yeah.
So the moment I put down and pay them attention,
Yeah.
to actually pay attention and be interested in what goes on in their life, that
Correct.
for me is my love language towards them.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think most parents are expected to do this, right? And most children expect
Yeah, I
this out of
guess. Yeah, I guess.
that's
But
yeah.
as the kids grow, as they become teens, you end up appreciating the time and attention they give you, not the other way around. Teens
That
these
wow.
days.
That is something very beautifully said, and it takes a lot of humility for a parent to say that in terms of because they have more stimulus than we do, right? So their life
Yeah,
is studies and so much happening in their life. So yeah, for
yeah.
them to consider you to be an important part of their life is a big thing. It's a big compliment in itself, actually.
I'm really grateful for that.
I'm sure you facilitated that as well over time. So
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah.
Okay, so first we spoke about words of appreciation, then we spoke about spending quality time. The third thing is physical touch. So showing physical affection like hugging, or patting their back or holding hands. Uh, Massages at the end of the day is more like what was proposed by Gary Chapman. In India, we may not really follow it to that extent, but generally, if you're comfortable with your partner to do that, then some people like receiving love through physical affection. Yeah. So that's another kind of a
It's
an
also
appreciation.
interesting. I just want to share that, like physical touch in terms of children. When they are very young, we do that a lot with them. We hold them, we grab them, we kiss them. You want to just cuddle them and have them with you all the time. As they grow older, that becomes a little lesser and lesser. Uh, Maybe
Right.
give it a thought. Why does that happen? Because actually when you start growing up, maybe a physical touch like if I can share or something, for me hugging is like I feel awkward. I have to think twice before I have to hug grown up, but when it's a child it's much more easier. So why is that? I often That's something that you can ponder upon if that's the same for you. And as the person
Yeah.
probably grows older and then you have to assist them, you tend to touch them more. So why is that? Why are we more comfortable with physical touch when the person is not able to take care of themselves so much? Maybe something food for thought. That's
That's a very profound, that's a very profound thing to say, Soumya, because even in the Mahabharat, there's a lot of like again in the B.R. Chopra Mahabharat, there's a lot of hugging that is shown, amongst the brothers with Dhritarashtra, with Bhishma, and I remember like in this uh, episode where Bhishma is being shot at by Arjun, he recaps and he's like how Arjun sits on his lap, and so a lot of these physical affection also create memories for us. Yeah, because physical affection, like Soumya rightly said, I think we're used to physical affection since the time we are born. It's actually more like a necessity more than anything else. So there's a lot of that shown in the Mahabharata as well, in terms of brothers hugging each other, or um, just standing by each other in terms of being able to say that, yeah, I'm here with you in the physical sense of it. So yeah, that's physical touch. Then comes the acts of service. This is where Tushar mentioned right in the beginning. Uh, just helping them with what is needed at a moment. Yeah. For people who have partners who are married or who are living with a partner, it shouldn't come from a space of, Are, I have to do this, I don't have a choice, but I have to do this. It has to come from a very voluntary space saying that, yeah, I wish to do this because my partner also does this for me. I mean, he does or she does so much for me, and I would also like to do something for them. Yeah. It can't come from a space of force, and it can't come from a space of frustration saying that, oh my God, I have to wash the dishes again. Okay. So that's something that's a very important aspect of acts of service. So
Sometimes it
anything,
happens, huh? Sometimes it happens.
definitely, yeah. So appreciating also the little things that happen for you every day. For example, you're searching for a pair of socks, or you're searching for your white shirt, something that needs to be fixed or got. Even figuring out or telling somebody where it is, I think, can be a great gesture. No, so there's a great deal of so service does not, basically it means that to be able to look beyond yourself to help other people. Yeah. And Sowmiya has, I'm sure, definitely has a point here to make around how she extends herself.
In not with me, as it was interestingly, things like now around house, if you talk about, and the small things that maybe you have experienced getting irritated in terms of, oh, there's a message, we are going for dinner, yay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
in terms of the things which are not in place, or the towels which are not on the rack, and how someone gets irritated, oh, things are lying around, and then you're like, oh my god, I have to clean that up, and otherwise stop nagging. So this background that happens, and when you realize, what, just by doing a small thing, like maybe just taking care of my space in which another person also resides, just makes it much more comfortable for both of us. We don't have to connect over not doing something, but we're connecting over a space well maintained. That's how I look at it as act of service. You tend to do that probably much more consciously at your workplace, but where you stay, it's a little more forceful maybe. So why that? Also, it becomes more like a person appreciates it more when it's done without asking for that to be done, because
Right.
it's then it comes down to parenting then, right? As in, do this, do that. Where is your uh where is your thought?
No, I say common sense, but it's very tempting to say common sense. And but basically, where's your empathy, right?
Yeah.
Where's your connection? Where's your empathy? So that's definitely there. And with Soumya and I were talking about this, and we kind of thought back, and we realized that uh, throughout the Vanvas period of the Pandavas, uh, there were twice or thrice that, once after they escaped from the wax palace, they are, thrown into figuring out their shelter and stuff. Even then, each one of them, each one of those boys are helping their mother. Everybody has their own role to play. They do their duty, go and ask for alms, come back. So each one of them is doing their duty. Even when they go for the Vanvas later on, that's also when each one of them has a different role to play. Yeah, and they do their role, they do their duty. Even when they're in hiding, right? They go to Virat Desh and they are hiding. Even there, they have their own thing to do, and they try to make each other's lives a little more better in terms of being able to do their part. I do my part and therefore make life easier for somebody else. So I think acts of service is something that often happens. We'll talk about a great deal of acts of service with regards to feeding somebody, right? So helping with the cooking, or being able to, our mothers usually feed us. Indian mothers feed their children. That's the way they extend themselves in terms of expressing their love. So if you have eaten, and if you have eaten well, that is something that that's when they feel that they've expressed their love. They're satisfied with how much they have expressed their love to you, and in turn they probably expect acts of service. So I cook and clean for you, can't you just do this for me, kind of a thing. So yeah, sometimes acts of service have the give and take, what they do for us and what we do for them in return. Yeah. And then we have receiving gifts. So some people love receiving gifts. Some people, depends on what your style of giving and receiving is. But it's not necessarily the only, like it's an expensive gift or something like that. It's the intent behind it. It is a feeling behind it. The time and effort that is put into the selection or creation of that gift, the thoughtfulness behind it. And also remembering what events, like why are you giving this? Like, what do you remember about that particular event? So we think about this Dil Chahta Hai wala scene where that Subodh is wooing that Sonali Kulkarni, right? And he says, अब तुमको याद है हम 1 महीने पहले इसी रेस्टोरेंट में हमने पहली बार कॉफी पी थी, and he gives her a balloon to remember that day. So remembering events sometimes is very important for certain people. Yeah. And just by remembrance of that memory, and a very small, thoughtful gift, even if it's a handwritten note, is more than enough to let somebody know that I know, I remember, and I know it matters to you. Yeah. So these are the 5 ways that Gary Chapman had written with regards to how one can express love. However, like again, you must remember that all of this has to come as an extension of yourself, more selflessly than as मेरे को बोला है ये करने के लिए. Somebody told me do this, so I'm going ahead and doing it. Right? So this is some food for thought for you. So Soumya, what are the questions we should think of?
Question, what you should also try to figure out that, yes, you've identified your love language. What is your partner's love language or your loved one's love language? Because the way someone receives love also becomes important. You may do the gifting, okay? But if your partner or your loved one is someone who appreciates quality time more or words of appreciation more, then how many ever gifts you give them, they will always feel like this person doesn't understand me. They will feel not loved. So this becomes important, this understanding what the other person wants and what do you want. So if you can communicate that to your loved one, great. So you have the channel of communication, you all can both express it in ways that you understand. And that's what the basis of love can be, right? To understand each other better and just go ahead and do that.
And if you are very bad at communicating with each other, this will definitely come up in fights, saying that you didn't do this. So then immediately you come to know that, oh, this is their love language. You never spend time with me. If that is a complaint, you know they need quality time from you. Or you forgot my anniversary. You forgot this. So that's how you also come to know. Very silly way of damage letting you become more aware. But yeah, sometimes it happens. That's how it goes.
And there can be more than one way. There's always more than one way. There's no right or wrong about it. It's just whatever clicks with you, clicks with your loved one. That's what you go for. You can keep building on it.
Definitely. So, are there questions that we have? Is spot on time today? Okay.
No question from my side, but it was a great session. Hema, thank you.
Thank you. So
Yeah,
next time
same here.
we'll start talking about self-love from the next time. And we'll see the interplay between love and fear and love and other emotions. Which is the emotion that emerges stronger in the tug of war? So that's something that we'll start looking at in the next session. Soumya, any parting words?
Just keep coming back for more.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Appreciate your presence here today.
Yes.
Again. So I hope both of us hope that we see you more often. And thanks for participating. Thanks for contributing your perspectives to this. So yeah, see you next week.
Definitely.
you.
See you, Hema. See you, Soumya.
Thanks.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.